One Zambia, one nation, and welcome to Zanis News. We look at the top stories in the news. Zambia in 7 million euros Czech funding. President Hichilema to grace EU Business Forum. Plus misplaced civil servants unveiled. Now, President Hakainde Hichilema has reaffirmed the strong, cordial and bilateral relations that exist between the Communist Party of China and the United Party for National Development UPND in various areas of cooperation. President Hichilema says the strength of the Communist Party of China has culminated in China being a strong country and that government stands ready to learn from it. The head of state said this when the Communist Party delegation from China paid a courtesy call on him and the UPND party officials at State House.
China and Zambia share a long-standing relationship, Deputy Minister, going back to our pre-independence time, struggle for independence. But shortly after independence, China is one of the first countries that the independent Zambia under President Kaunda got into a formal bilateral relationship. So we want to thank Chairman Mao, thank President Kaunda for commencing or creating the basis for this relationship. And this partnership has evolved into really a strong one, sharing mutual benefits. The support that the Chinese people through the government of China have rendered to this country over the years is immense. To give you an example, and I wanted to say this while the media is here, the Tazara relationship has been very, very good. The partnership involving China, Zambia, and Tanzania, which resulted into Zambia having access to the sea through the Tazara corridor. We've since had many areas of cooperation projects that we have done together, and also China has been available when Zambia needed the support most, such as the COVID-19 situation, the cholera situation, and now the drought. All of these support areas are very appreciated by the people of Zambia.
Thank you for leading the UPND leaders to meet with the CPC delegation led by me. Your meeting with us has exhibited the profound friendship between Your Excellency and also with our President, Mr. Xi Jinping, and also the importance that you attached to the relationship between our two parties and two governments.
所以，首先，请允许我转达中共中央总书记、国家主席习近平阁下对您的亲切问候和良好祝愿。
First of all, please allow me to convey to you the greetings and best wishes from the General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee and also President of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Xi Jinping.
总统阁下长期以来积极致力于推动中赞两党两国关系和中非关系发展，做出了重要贡献，我们向你表示敬意。
Your Excellency has been making important contribution to the development of relations between our two parties and countries, and also to the development of China-Africa relations. We pay you high tribute.
The Czech Republic has secured 7 million euros for development cooperation in Zambia. The President of the Senate in the Czech Republic, Milos, says his country is working with the European Union towards making more funds available. He was speaking during a courtesy call at State House in the company of Czech members of the Senate. And President Hakainde Hichilema has also called for deepened cooperation between Zambia and the Czech Republic. He said there is need to deepen cooperation between the two countries at both bilateral and multilateral level.
Až 2030 a že dnes podepíšeme memorandum o rozvojové spolupráci, vidím to jako zásadní.
I'm very happy that we have managed to reach an agreement on the development cooperation for the years 2024 to 2030, and I'm even more happy that we will sign the memorandum on this cooperation later on today. In this respect, I would like to inform you, Your Excellency, that the Czech Republic is a very active member of the European Union, and enjoying fully grown bilateral cooperation with your country could also mean that the Czech Republic could be delegated with more projects related to that.
V jednom případě
we have already succeeded in one of those projects, and as a result of that, we were able to get funding worth 7 million euros for the development of forestry in Zambia.
A takto bychom mohli pokračovat, které by měly aspoň trochu pomoci obyvatelstvu Zambie.
And as far as the weather situation here and the drought in particular, we are aware of how severely this impacts your country, and that is also the result of the activity of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and our minister that you mentioned who visited your country, Mr. Jan Lipovský, that today we will be presenting the Red Cross of Zambia with a check and donation in the equivalent to 5 million kwacha to fight the aftermath of that.
Czech Republic is one of those that we consider as our friends. So we want to deepen that cooperation at that multilateral and bilateral level. The reference you made to the EU support is very, very dear to us. And we're very glad that the Czech Republic will continue pushing and influencing the European Union to deepen our partnership, our cooperation in many areas. I must say at this stage to express our appreciation, to thank the Czech Republic, to thank the EU for their support towards Zambia's debt restructuring project, which was creating a lot of challenges for us towards our economic and social development.
Meanwhile, the Czech Republic has handed over 200,000 United States dollars to Zambia for drought mitigation. Visiting Czech Republic Senate President Milo says that his country is aware of the problems the drought has caused for countries like Zambia. He was speaking in Lusaka when he paid a courtesy call on Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Moti.
Souhlasím s vámi, paní předsedkyně, že pokud mají vztahy mezi zeměmi, mezi Zambií a Českou republikou dobře fungovat, tak je potřeba spolupracovat nejen na úrovni exekutivy, na úrovni vlád, ale také na úrovni parlamentu v rámci tzv. Parlamentní diplomacie.
Madam Speaker, I fully agree with you and with your statement that should both countries actually enjoy fruitful and efficient cooperation, it is utterly important not to cooperate only on the branch of on the executive branch, but we also need to have contacts on the parliamentary level, especially in the area of parliamentary diplomacy.
I am therefore optimistic that going forward our relations will be sustained through closer ties between our parliamentarians, not only parliamentarians but also members of staff, as we exchange lessons, learn from each other, best practices and parliamentary support at international fora. For example, at the Parliamentary Union, we have attended those meetings, but I think we have had no chance to interact with the Czech delegation.
Now, Vice President Mutalina Lumango says about 9.8 million people have been affected by the drought in the country and about 6.6 million are in need of relief food. The Vice President said this in Mumbwa district when she visited Maimwene resettlement scheme. Shubekele Nkunika has more in the following report.
74-year-old Patrick Sichembe is a farmer at Maimwene resettlement scheme in Mumbwa district. Mr. Sichembe, who ventures into agricultural production and beekeeping, is among the many farmers affected by the drought. Despite the devastating effect of the drought on his crops, Mr. Sichembe will still survive from his lucrative beekeeping venture.
If there's harvest, there's only about 5% of what we are supposed to harvest. So we are totally affected. So I chose beekeeping. It's a very good business because bees, even if there's drought, I'll still harvest.
Vice President Mtalena Lumango toured Mr. Sichembe's farm as she visited the resettlement scheme.
But you are not going to die because you are not dependent on one crop. You are dependent on another form of farming. You are doing beekeeping, and that, by your own words, will make you live as you wait to do other activities. And
Earlier, when she paid a courtesy call on Chief Mumba of the Kaonde-speaking people in Mumbwa, the Vice President announced that 9.8 million people have been affected by the drought in the country.
9.8 million people are affected by the drought. So you can imagine the huge burden that government has to ensure that people are supported.
She also observed that supporting irrigation farming may be difficult this year.
We have a total of about 281 village implements in Mumbai with a number of households. And most of these people were affected by the drought. About 70 to 80% of our people do not have food, so we are insecure in general. This insecurity may not just be for this year, but to go on to the next harvest. This means that those two have to come back to government for assistance.
Chief Mumba said 281 villages in his chiefdom have been affected by the drought.
But the issue of irrigation is also difficult for now. That means, as you ask Royal Highness, which I agree with, that we can see how people can afford the affordability of the irrigation equipment, but also power, which will have to be alternative power. Do we have electricity here?
Yes,
we do. We are blessed. But there are many other places where it's not electricity. That's another issue. And the other issue is water itself. Some of the streams are dry. So indeed, for the next season, God giving us rain, it's a priority to dam.
Hlubekile Nkunika for Zanis in Mumbwa.
Now, President Hakainde Hichilema is tomorrow expected on the Copper Belt for various official engagements. The Copper Belt Minister Elisha Matambo announced the president's visit during a media briefing in Dola.
I've said we'll be with the president for 5 days. Tomorrow, he will handle the EU Business Forum. He also wants to meet, after EU Business Forum, he will also commission the 60 megawatts for CEC, trying to sort out the issue of electricity. If you remember last year he came to commission the one for 34. Now he's coming back to commission the CEC 60 megawatt solar plant. And then on Thursday, he wants to meet the people he's been calling my friends, the drivers for trucks, the drivers for tankers, the bus drivers, minibus drivers, taxi drivers, and the operators of minibuses, trucks. You'll be meeting them in Ndola to try and compare the notes and learn what are the challenges they are facing. From there, he will go, like I said, to go and he officiates at the groundbreaking of 28 shafts. They will start pumping out water from that mine which was abandoned. It will be in Luanshi. Then thereafter, on Friday, he will be commissioning the Chililabombwe Kasumbalesa road. It's complete. It's one of the best roads we have on the Copper Belt province, which has been done by His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema in less than 2 years. From there, we'll be commissioning one of the biggest markets in Mufrira. And he also wants to engage the contractors and suppliers in Mufrira to try and compare notes now that Mupani is back to life. Saturday, I've said he will do the groundbreaking of Nkana Water, the 40 megaliter, which is the expansion of the storage of water. And then commissioning the first borehole to be drilled here in Kitwe from the 30 boreholes which he has donated to the people of Kitwe. On Sunday, he will again commission, I can maybe say, the best first level hospital we have on the Commonwealth.
Government has called for strengthened collaboration in dealing with violence against children within government systems in order to achieve the desired results. Minister of Community Development and Social Services, Doreen Mwamba, made the call during an engagement with a visiting United Nations Special Representative to the Secretary General, Najat Mala.
Government has called for strengthened collaboration in dealing with violence against children within government systems in order to achieve the desired results. Minister of Community Development and Social Services, Doreen Mwamba, made the call during an engagement with the visiting United Nations Special Representative to the Secretary General on Violence Against Children, Najat Mala.
We have 116 districts. So in Zambia, we have over 200 stop centers doing nothing. And we want to build some more for what? Then we've got homes. When we repossess these homes, because normally Ministry of Health, Ministry of Home Affairs will move into gear to repossess. When they repossess these homes, which we need to keep the girls safe, they want to keep them.
The UN envoy echoed the minister's sentiments in calling for strengthened collaborations within the government ministries, especially in rural areas which are not easily accessible by victims of violence.
Prosecuted. My question here, even when you will have this wonderful data, if for the moment you have no enough one-stop center, if you have not enough where to report, if you have still reluctance, if you have all this problem of distance, if you have the problem of, as you highlighted, this fear of reprisal and the stigma and taboo, it will be difficult to have all this reporting. Even you are collecting, many are not going to report. It's not only about...
Other line ministries such as Education, Health, Home Affairs, Gender Division and Labor also added their voices on the operations and the challenges they face.
A teacher abuses a school child. We are on top of things, following that case to make sure that they hear it, because it can't just jump from the school to us. It has
our level best to bring judges on board. The first one was we had a symposium during 16 days of activism to bring judges on board and then make them understand that even when they are giving judgment to such cases, they need to make sure that they should look outside the box, because times are changing, things are changing, and they should take...
When as a woman, you can see that there was a dilation here and the doctor has confirmed, then you leave the person who's a culprit free. If people were to react...
For Zenis News, Mwangalaka Pandola reporting in Lusaka.
Now, the European Union says preparations for the EU-Zambia Business Forum in Kitwe, slated for 10th to 12th April 2024, have advanced. EU Ambassador to Zambia, Carolina Stansiak, has disclosed that the three-day forum will focus on the development of the critical minerals in Zambia.
The focus will be on the copper value chains. Obviously, your region is very rich in copper, and there is a lot of potential and opportunities for this sector to grow. And we have partnered with the government of Zambia, with the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry. We're also in discussions with the Ministry of Mines, but also with the trade and business associations here in Zambia. And we put together a program of a forum on copper value chains. I'm happy to announce that we have about 300 participants who have confirmed their participation in the forum, including 50 plus European companies. So there's a lot of interest from the European companies to come and explore the opportunities, to discuss together with Zambian partners, Zambian companies. We have about 100 Zambian companies who have confirmed participation. The idea is to bring those businesses together so that they can discuss about opportunities, about challenges along the value chain. So we have companies who are active in the upstream, which means the exploration, the extraction, but also downstream. So to look for opportunities, how we can transform, process, create new the copper and create new opportunities and new jobs, new businesses.
In this sense, it's important to notice that the government is very much willing to start working with artisanal mining. It's a sector that needs to be regulated because they eventually adopt ESG standards that are not appropriate as in terms of environmental, social, using miners in the mining operations.
A government has launched the 2024 to 2028 National Cooperatives Development Policy, whose vision is sustainable and business-oriented cooperatives. And speaking when he launched the policy in Lusaka, Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, Elias Mubanga, says cooperatives have a great potential to accelerate socio-economic development in the country. Muna Chiwende has more in this report.
A successful cooperative business can provide employment, investment opportunities, collaborative growth, and contribution of wealth, among other benefits. Today, government has launched the National Cooperative Development Policy aimed at contributing to the creation of sustainable environment that will provide opportunities for the growth of cooperatives in the country.
Since its establishment, the ministry has been relying on the 2012 National Cooperative Development Policy and Strategic Plan for 2019 to 2021. 2019 to 2021 for guidance. Seeing that the National Cooperative Development Strategy was for the year 2019 to 2021 and came to a close, coupled with its strength in the cooperative sector, it became imperative that we must revise the cooperative policy in order to respond to the current issues, challenges, so that we can bring an enabling environment for the cooperatives to thrive. This 2024 revised National Cooperative Development Policy and its implementation plan, therefore, is aiming at providing a framework.
And various stakeholders highlighted their role in the formulation of the policy.
Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, the core activity is a 5-year project that is designed to increase access to self-reliant cooperative enterprises. Cooperatives that meet the needs of their members. Cooperatives that contribute to the improved quality of life of their members. That's the overarching goal of the core activity. Currently, we are at the startup phase, and our goal in Zambia really will be at fostering vibrant and sustainable cooperative ecosystems for the next 5 years.
As a project, we were involved with supporting some of the consultation with stakeholders which culminated into the development of this policy. The focus of the program, like I said, was changing the mindset of cooperators. And I see that this particular policy does respond to that and is actually looking at sustainable cooperatives through the business model. So yes, this project definitely does dovetail into what we've been doing, and we see that the future for cooperative is much brighter.
This policy will benefit us because we have something to look at. The government is doing a great job because if they listen and they draft something that will help the cooperative, I think this is we are in the correct direction where we are moving together with the government to come up with police that well. I think what is remaining is also to look at the act, which I think the submissions have already been done, and I'm sure the government is also looking at that and also work together with such policies to help the cooperative movement.
Meanwhile, the cooperative union representative thanked government for launching the cooperative policy.
Honorable Mr. Sir, it gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event, the launch of the revised National Corporate Development Policy and the implementation plan, which for the cooperative movement marks a significant milestone in the cooperative calendar.
Munachwende Fozanis in Lusaka.
And now, the Central Province Permanent Secretary Miuna Mwanakampwe says government has increased the coverage of beneficiary households on social cash transfer from 6,000 to 10,000 beneficiaries in Shibuyunji district. Mr. Mwanakampwe says the increase of beneficiaries will help cushion the vulnerable and extremely poor households from the ravaging economic shocks and other related disaster risks such as droughts and floods. More in this report.
The Provincial Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit in Central Province has continued to assess the level of intervention required in districts severely affected by drought. Central Province Permanent Secretary Miuna Mwanakampwe is in Shibuyunji district, where he disclosed some proactive measures for social cash transfer beneficiaries.
6,000 is the number of beneficiaries that you had as Shibuyunji, but government has decided to add another 3,000 and enlisting starts on Monday. Now my humble appeal to those who will be shortlisting, don't look at people's faces, don't look at girlfriends or boyfriends, don't look at your relatives, but look at the people as those created in God's image.
Shibuyunji district has no bank, and District Commissioner Alfred Shaputu is worried about how people in the area will deposit the money for them to buy maize from the food reserve agents.
These people now, they have to deposit the money for them to buy the maize. PS, we have no bank in Shibuyunji. Where do we deposit the money? The next bank is in Lusaka, 100 kilometers. The nearest bank is in Lusaka. And one wants to buy 1 bag of maize. From here to Lusaka is 100. So you pay 200 plus 330, you come back.
Meanwhile, residents in Shibuyunji have appealed to the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit to work with the Ministry of Green Economy in curbing deforestation in the area.
Office of DMMU, amupange ma committee in the villages with the headmen. Let's stop the vice ya kushama stamp so that other trees can grow from the same shoots.
Daniel Billy for the News in Shibuyunji District, Central Province.
And our Ministry of Information and Media Director spokesperson Henry Kapata says that the government's skills training program under the Constituents Development Fund is pivotal in creating opportunities for self-employment. And during his visit to Navena Skills Training Center in Mufulira District on the Copperbelt Province, Mr. Kapata notes that the program will not only benefit the youths undergoing training, but also create a ripple effect of entrepreneurial opportunities within the communities.
Ministry of Information and Media Director spokesperson Henry Kapata says the government skills training program is a catalyst for establishing various business enterprises, promoting self-employment, and generating employment opportunities for others. During his visit to Nirvana Skills Training Center in Copperbelt Mufulira District, where youths from across the country are acquiring diverse skills, Mr. Kapata emphasized the program's wider impact, extending beyond the trained youths to create a ripple effect within communities.
About so many people from different constituencies that are at one place, different ideas, but going back, creating their own jobs, being their own bosses after such a trial. Because when you do skills, it means you have it and have it yourself. So you transfer the skills. Wherever they will go, whether Masawombwe, Chelenge, they will transfer the skills.
Mr. Kapata engaged with youths at the center to experience firsthand the newly acquired skills they have developed.
I finished my dump truck. I even started doing a front-end hand loader.
It's giving us a trade. We've not been actually seeing these opportunities, but we are here. Yes, we are acquiring the trade so that when we get back, we get into mines, we get into companies.
Neo operate machine ya front-end loader. And this machine additional sana cooperator.
Expressing gratitude for the program, Nirvana Director Elias Mununga acknowledged the government's support, which has significantly contributed to the enhancement of the Skills Training Center.
Whatever you have seen here, machinery, the motor vehicles, all that, we started buying all these things after Mr. President HH came into power. So even in terms of CDF, as entrepreneurs also, we are benefiting.
Furthermore, boarding house owners in the district commended the skills training program for its role in generating business opportunities, indicating a positive spin-off effect across various sectors.
As they pay us, we also cut our problems. As single mothers,
Rachel Chisulo, Zanis Mufulira.
The Civil Service Commission chairperson Cholwe Beyani has expressed concern over the increased number of misplaced civil servants in Southern Province who are occupying positions they were initially not employed on. Dr. Beyani has disclosed that about 1,430 officers in the province remain misplaced, with ministries of health and education accounting for the highest numbers.
Staff audit findings for Southern Province have revealed that 1,431 officers are misplaced, as they are on the payroll for facilities where they are not offering the service. The most affected institutions, as usual, include the Ministry of Health, with 928, followed by the Ministry of Education, with 135 officers that fall under the Civil Service Commission. And the third is the Minister of Agriculture with 120. Therefore, the Commission is in the province to establish ways in which this state of affairs can be corrected.
Issues that has been thrown to the provincial administration is misplaced staff. And this has come about due to expansion of service requirement. However, the establishment in some of the departments and ministries has not happened. For example, the province has opened about 6 or so mini hospitals. And in those mini hospitals, there were no staff that were recruited, and therefore the management and the Ministry of Health had to make some movements just to ensure that wherever the services have been opened, human resources sent.
Well, that item brings us to the end of the news, but before I finish, we look at the headlines once again. Zambia in €7 million Czech funding. President Hichilema to grace EU Business Forum. Plus misplaced civil servants unveiled. Well, that was all we had for you, and on behalf of the entire production news crew here at Zanis, thank you so much for staying tuned. It has been Margaret Kangwa, and my sign language interpreter was Joyas Shikombwe. Stay tuned.